Hello, how are you? Well, it has been a while since I posted something on this platform, on YouTube or on any social media platform. But today I have a different topic altogether to talk about, and well, I'm quite a little bit chaotic in terms of consistent in pursuing one thing. But if I don't find some inspiration in something, I just drop it. So today, I'll just give you a rather brief background to what is happening or what has happened. So my life is just an open book. So it's easy for you to know what is happening, what is exciting me, what is boring me, and all that. But I'll just give you a brief background of what happened, what led me to be where I am today, or sharing with you what I'm sharing with you today. So I went as usual to my radio show today, being the 28th, is it? Let me just check here. Yeah, the 28th of October 2022. I went to my radio show as usual in the morning from 9 to 10. That's Ross FM 94.6 as a presenter there on a program called Lovers Paradise. So when I came back, I was just feeling, I didn't know what to do exactly. So I was just going through the television, some channels. Nothing really inspired me on the channels there. And I went onto the YouTube just to get some inspirational speakers, and I listened to one of the inspirational, and then a lot more came, and then I found myself asleep on the couch. When I woke up, when I woke up, I just I was just feeling blank. I was feeling bored. I was feeling empty and lonely, kind of like, because life in Europe is pretty much routine in that you go to work, you spend 12 hours at work working. The next day you are off, you just want to relax, you want to rest, you don't want to do much. So that's basically the routine. And when you're home, there's no social activity. Some things can be boring in the process, and then it's easy to get depressed. So then I was just thinking, after a 12-day shift at work, and it's so mentally draining, working with the patients. You have to also, it's so exhausting physically as well. Mentally, it's draining. Physically, it's exhausting. So you really want to have a good rest at home, but it can be something really boring if you're not sleeping. If you're awake, then that's horrible. That's really horrible. So when I came back from the studio, I just did that. But one thing inspired me. One thing touched another light inside of my heart, inside of my life, when I was watching Trevor Noah in conversation with Trevor, when he was interviewing this guy. I just wrote his name down here. Um, he was interviewing, or he was hosting, Jerry Mo Nyazungu, the chartered venter. Jerry Mo Nyazungu, the chartered venter. That conversation really lit a light or a fire inside of me and inspired me. And then that really made me to take this route, writing a book. In conversation with Trevor, mostly you'll be looking into different aspects, interviewing entrepreneurs, those who have done a difference in life, business personnel, politicians, and stuff like that. but basically the people who have done a difference in life. And the most important thing and significant in the program of In Conversation with Trevor that I've noticed as I've been really following much of his programs is the aspect of reading. There is a lot of emphasis on reading of books. For me, I envy and I desire reading books. I remember when I left Zimbabwe, coming to Europe, I had a couple of books. Somebody gave me some books to read. I never had a chance to read any, but I like the idea of reading books. Um, Reading books, I know it opens up your mind. Somebody said, if you want new ideas, read old books. So if you want new ideas, you need to go to the old books and be able to get new ideas, because there's nothing really new in the face of the earth. Everything has been there and existed before. It is about how it was explored with the technology that was then and the technology that is now. That's the difference, according to my viewpoint. Then you know new ideas. It's just the technology which is changing and advancing each and every time. So then what I really inspired me is to put the facts down. The gentleman Jerry there in the program with Trevor, from Eventa, from the rural areas, when he migrated to join, or when he migrated to the city to pursue his education, when there wasn't anyone in particular very close, but the other siblings, the uncles that he was staying with. And then until the time he got into business or he got into the streets to do venting, and numerous times how he was persecuted, tortured, or arrested for illegal vending in the streets of Harare. Until this very moment, as we speak, he is now a business personnel. He owns some businesses, and he just wrote a book as well, personally on his life, inspired by his own life. And it is real names, real events that took place. I got inspired to write my own book, to write my own story. So I am writing my own book right now, starting today. So I don't know how long this will inspire me, but for now I'm inspired, because sometimes I get inspired to something, but along the way I get bored and I just drop it. But I'm not so sure for how long I'll be inspired here on this book writing. But there's a book that I just detached. A special friend gave me this book, and I'll just read this book. The first, I haven't even read this book at all, but what I can tell you is I just read the introduction, the first paragraph. That's what I've managed to read so far. But listen to the first paragraph, what it's saying. Suddenly, I am 80. How can that possibly be? 80 is old. 80 means maybe 5, maybe 10 years left. Where did my life go? There's much I still want to do. What have I learned? Have I done the best I could? Have I made a difference? Those are the questions that rush at me. Oh, this is a book. It's entitled This Much is True, Miriam Margolyes. There is no one on earth quite so wonderful, Stephen Fry. So this is the book. The first paragraph just inspired me. How much if I'm to read the entire book? It's a thick volume, and it has 438 pages. if I'm to read, if I can only get inspired by a paragraph, how much will it inspire me if I'm to read the entire paragraph, the entire book rather? So, you know what? I just realized that life is like a lily. It's like a flower in the field. Today it's bright, it's gloomy, it's enticing, it's smelling good, it's nice to the eyes. But tomorrow, that same flower will be gone, dried, or wilty. It can still not be there the following day. It can be trampled easily by those passing, or by animals in the fields, in the forest, in the wild, in the wilderness, or whatever the place you can find a lily. It can be trampled down easily. Life is also like a fog or a mist in the morning. But the following, in the afternoon, when the sun rises, the mist is gone, the fog is gone. This is how life is like, but the question is, what will you be remembered for when you are gone? When your days on earth are over, what shall you be remembered for? I know you can choose to be introvert, which is fine. It's not really a problem. But in your introvertness, what will you be remembered for? What difference will you have made? Do you know your purpose? When God created you, what really have you ever inquired of your purpose of existing on earth? Those are some of the questions that I'll be just asking myself. And so if you look down, if you go deeper into into my uploads, rather, I have really gone much deeper into telling you some of the moments that I was really unhappy and really stressed. Around 2015, I uploaded something on YouTube, on my channel, on this particular channel, narrating my life, what I was experiencing, and how I desired to be out of that environment or out of that situation. I was financially disabled, and I was really stressed and heartbroken, couldn't even have a single penny to travel or to go to work, so that I'm able to maintain my career and also be able to serve my job, to do what I really love most, to help the people that I always have been helping throughout my life, and be able to also at the end of the day look after my family, feed my family, look after my mom who wasn't feeling well, but then sadly she passed on in 2018. May your dear soul rest in peace. But there were a lot of thoughts, burning desires and passion that could not be fulfilled. I wanted to see my mom receiving the best of treatment and care from the cancer she was suffering from. I couldn't do much. I was hamstring. My hands were tied. I did what I could under the circumstances, trying to give her comfort, but it wasn't enough as what I wanted and how I wanted her to live, to see much of my life growing to a certain age or stage, and moving on to other places in life like it then turned out to be, but it wasn't to be like that. Sometimes life might seem empty, and next moment we are wondering, or it is full of hope, bright. So today I'm starting this new chapter of trekking my life. I was just feeling lonely, bored, and empty just after my radio show, like I said, and I'm tracking my life back to my childhood and giving you more information. So it's a book that I'm writing. Instead, I'm writing a book, and I'll be summarizing. I don't know what exactly, because what I've learned is people don't really read a lot. Today's generation, I'm not more into reading. They're not much into reading, but into watching some videos. So I'm trying to come up with this idea of writing my story, putting it on in an audio and video format so that people can watch and also listen to what I'm saying, my story. I can as well put it down in writing for those who really like reading a lot. Because when I touched this book and the smell of the pages, wow, it really took me far away, to places like going into a library, sitting around, being able to read some books and some stuff. The environment full of the serene environment, quiet environment, no noise that you can hear in a library, and no, that was that. So it's called Jaegers. This is my gas heater trying to run away from the electricity bills and stuff like that. And of course, on the background is my guitar. And so this is what is happening. I'll stop this for now, and the next chapter is to go into detail of this book writing. So this was just an introduction, the story of my life. I'm inspired by life itself. This story of my life inspires me a lot. I hope in this, I look forward. My goal is to inspire someone, to inspire you, to inspire the younger generation, to inspire everyone, the older generation, the middle-aged generations. I just want to inspire you today with this.